Hello, everybody.
Hey guys.
Where the hell are these people? Is that what you put in there, Roman? Oh my gosh,
He did.
patience is a virtue.
He doesn't
Um,
have patience.
Welcome to Behind the Moon. I am one of your hosts, Bobby. This is Celina from Essence of the Moon. Um, we do this weekly show to be with you guys to raise awareness of the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual community, to bring things together. Um, we like to go places where no man has gone before. Sorry, I was watching Star Trek. Um, I would like to say hello to people that are watching us. I
Yeah.
see a few people have commented already. We've got Gigi, and where Gigi goes, Dan can't be too far behind.
Oh, hello, Gigi and Pumbaa Dan Daddy.
Puma Daddy
Dandy.
Dan. Uh, hey everyone, and then we've got KL, which is cannot find a name. What up, homie? I'm doing the Pez head thing again. Sorry.
I see that.
Lila. That is Lila, right? Or Amber.
No, that's
Amber.
Amber,
Amber. Amber.
Psychopomp of the Void.
I'm
I just
always getting
messaged
it.
you, Amber,
Yeah.
by the way. Because
All
literally,
right.
as you said that,
This. The
yeah,
deck
literally,
gotcha.
as you said that, I was pulling cards and this card came flying out
The
at the
cannabis
same
card.
exact moment. I was like, oh my God, Amber.
Freaking psychics, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So who else? We got Roman being all impatient. We've got Draven. What up, Draven? There he is. I knew he couldn't be too far behind.
Oh.
And we have another match set. We've got Irma and Quinna.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Victoria. Poor Irma's down with a hurt foot. Um,
Oh.
she had to have stitches in her foot, so she goes on our prayer list, guys. Send good vibes list. Um, I think she has her stitches on her foot taken out Friday, is what she said.
Oh goodness, that's tough.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think I've said hello to everybody that's joining us. Well, I looked at the screen. We had 9 people. I looked away and then looked back at the number. Now we've got close to 30. I was like, well,
Nice. Welcome
that jumped
everybody.
that jumped quickly. Um, so Celina and I decided tonight to look at the energy of dark goddesses. We both work with quote unquote dark goddesses,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's fortify before we do this. Um,
Let's spray ourselves and
what are you spraying with?
Miss Tara D's Florida water and right here.
Um, what do you?
And Ramon's one of his oils from Santa Muerte. See? I like
What's
to
up,
anoint
Daniel?
myself. Yeah.
I like to anoint myself too, but I have to be in private to do it. No, so
What?
I was gonna make a bad joke,
Mm,
but I
yeah.
lost control of it halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Florida water, that's what it was. Are we allowed to say?
I don't know. Miss Tara D hasn't said, right?
All right, we'll skip on that for right now until we,
Till
yeah,
we get the A-OK from La
until we get
Madrina.
the A-OK. Um, so I work with Hekate
Mm-hmm.
primarily. I do touch on other dark goddesses, but that is my life. That is where I have devoted myself. What I've given myself to um, is Hekate. Um, I felt her call. It was undeniable. All right, it just was. Um, there she is. Now we both have the Dark Goddess Oracle. Because we were just going to pull random cards and let it lead us in the conversation tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But I always want to start with my lady. with Hekate, queen of witches, goddess of witchcraft, necromancy, ghosts,
Crossroads.
crossroads, childbirth, child rearing, child care, um, travel. She is the world's soul. She is to me where everything comes from. We all have a piece of her flame in us.
Hmm.
The Morrigan came out for me yesterday with Joey, and Persephone has been calling me. I've never worked with dark goddesses before. Let's talk about what a dark goddess is. Okay, when people say dark goddess, sometimes it's a little bit offensive because
Hmm.
yes, there are negative connotations or darker connotations, I should say. um, Nighttime shadows, witchcraft,
Yeah.
demons. These are the things that people associate with evil, but it's not. These goddesses are not evil. They're just fucking strong. Um, I don't care what
Yeah.
pantheon you guys follow. The feminine has been stomped on, pushed down, villainized, um, pillaged, raped, and anything they can to take it from power to
Yeah.
less than.
Yeah.
Um, that pisses me off. So, oh, yay to dance healing. That's right. Um, like, let's talk about Santa Muerte.
Hmm.
Um, down here where I live, she's very well known. I'm right by Mexico. She is known probably mostly because of TV that she's the goddess drug dealers and cartel members pray to or
Hmm.
ask for help. Um, I can't speak on why they do that or anything. I seriously can't. I'm assuming it's because Santa Muerte fills a void in their lives that they need, that they feel drawn to that.
Well, it's the protection and healing part that Santa Muerte gives, which is what people that are crossing the border, even like that's huge with the narcotraficantes as well. They have lots of songs about her. Um, but it's about the protection that she offers them. It's about the healing, but mainly it's that protection. It's like having like that mother figure that's will she's like the mama bear. She has that energy, the mama bear energy. So that's why she is so revered in Mexico, the borders, again, the narcotraficantes as well. Um, it's what it's that she's the mother figure. She's almost like Virgin Mary, just a different aspect of Virgin Mary.
There's a lot of people who don't make the full crossing and
Hmm.
end up there in the desert. Um, a lot of them are found with items
Hmm.
associated with Santa Muerte.
Yeah.
My father-in-law is retired border patrol. Okay, before I forget, he would tell me how they'd take pebbles and um, that the bodies would blow up. So before they
Yeah.
could do
From the
anything,
the
they
gas
had
that's
to,
in them.
yeah, they
Hmm.
had to release the pressure.
Hmm.
Somebody
And she's
put
also
on,
like a psychopomp. Speaking of psychopomp of void, she's also considered a psychopomp.
okay, can you explain what a psychopomp is for anybody new? A
I don't
psych,
want to mess up the psychopomp part.
it's a guide. Psychopomps guide us from the land of the living to where we need to be after death. They accompany us,
Thank
guide
you.
us. When we think of psychopomps, we're talking about Anubis, Hecate,
Hmm.
Hermes, Santa Muerte. These are
So like a
the,
guide between worlds.
exactly, they help us
Transform, yeah.
transition.
Mm-hmm.
Um, marginal communities, especially facing the. Oh, look who came in! Hello, just stopping
Madrina.
by today. I love you all. Spending time with my husband, who pays for the internet.
I want to.
uh, all right. Well,
Oh,
you go
Madrina.
say hi to Hector. Throw him a reach
Yeah,
around from all of us.
spend time with Hector.
Um, I called him Victor the other day by accident.
Mm.
I know. Uh, I want to say Hector, but I don't know if I was high or sober or what.
So psychopomp is more like considered like a guide.
Yeah. Um, I've always thought of Charon as a psychopomp because he ferries you across, but no.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, it just makes sense. So,
And speaking of,
hello,
Llewellyn is
Francine.
coming out with a deck called Psychopomp of the Void in like
Shut
September,
up.
October. Yeah. Fabio Lustrani is illustrating that deck.
Are you lying to me? Oh my gosh. One of my favorite artists.
He's doing an oracle deck. It's like, I forget how many cards, but it is Psychopomp, Dark Goddess energy. It's going to be so good.
Good, because he's a
Yeah.
phenomenal artist. Maybe on this one, I'll vibe stronger with it. I love this deck. I do. But there's something about the coloring of the cards that unless I'm doing a certain type of reading or spread or client,
Yeah.
I can't really use them. They don't vibe with me in that way anymore.
Yeah.
But they definitely have their own voice.
Yeah.
So, you guys watching, these are the goddesses we work with. What goddesses do you consider dark goddesses that you either work with or have worked with in the past? Somebody was talking about Persephone.
Mm-hmm.
Let me share my thoughts on that. Persephone and Hades. They're different sides of the same coin. Hades is the earth and its riches and what lies beneath the surface, whereas Persephone is the flowers and the new growth, what's above
Mm-hmm.
the surface. So they're kind of the same thing in different angles, different views. Queen
Trying to look for
Morrigan
Persephone on here.
and Hell have been on my shoulders for a while now.
Yeah. Hell's a good one. My husband has hell tattooed on his arm.
I like
Here's Hell.
the actress that played Hell in the Thor movies. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Someone
Persephone
mentioned,
loves Hades, right? We can't speak on that. All we can speak on is the myths. Supposedly, she grew into her role and accepted her heritage and her right to rule the underworld. Hades wasn't evil. He did go to Persephone's father, Zeus. Zeus knew Persephone's mama wouldn't go along with this, so he gave the okay, but said keep it on the down low and leave me out of it.
yeah.
So what happened was Hades came up, gave her some bait, which was the most beautiful narcissus flower you've ever
Mm-hmm.
seen. And while she was admiring it away from her companions set to watch her, Hades came up in his chariot, the ground opened up, and he took her.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot say if she is now a willing participant. I'm assuming she is. I love Persephone. She's possibility. Any of
Mm-hmm.
the goddesses who die and come back, that make that journey is amazing to me.
So her key word on here is balance,
For
which I
Persephone,
love. Hmm.
Oh,
I love that this deck has an additional word and what its meaning. So Persephone is encouraging you to be conscious of how you're balancing everything in your life. Are there areas in your life that feel uneven? Look deeply into yourself with the light of honesty and accountability. Balance is about recentering and being able to see both the dark and the light sides. Take this time to correct and make any changes needed to find greater harmony.
I think any goddess can be considered a dark goddess if
I
they're
think they
being
all have dark aspects to them.
yeah, even Persephone's mother, who was the goddess of the harvest of the growing
Hmm.
things, um, she went dark when Persephone was taken. She didn't
Hmm.
let anything grow, and it's not like they died; they stopped mid-growth, so nothing
Yeah.
came to fruition. Um, that's pretty dark. When she
Hmm.
said, "Fuck the world, I want my kid back,"
Yeah. So
that's
she was like extremely depressed and sad that her daughter was gone, and
yeah.
she stopped everything from growing.
I wish that we had
So hence
Maru
the
here.
balance as well that goes with it as well, with the light and the dark.
Yeah, well, she spends half of the year
In the
underworld and then
underground.
the
Yeah.
other half above ground. So there's that balance.
Hmm.
Um, Maru would know who this is. I don't know who this is really. Zoria. Do you guys know this goddess? I thought it was a goddess of starlight.
She is Slavic goddess and personification of the dawn. She may appear in the form of one
Yes.
woman or as three sisters all at once. Kind of reminds me of the Fate, but she's not. She's a triad of Zoria, Lady of the Morning Star, Lady of the Evening Star, and Lady of the Midnight Star.
So she was stars. Okay. It's in there somewhere. I
So
had
she's
it.
guarding the dog chained to the constellation Ursa Minor, the little bear. Should the dog ever break free, it would result in the destruction of the universe. How cool is that? And
Ooh.
her keyword is journey.
What's up, Timmy?
Hey,
What's up,
Timmer.
Hershey? Timmy Hershey. Making the rounds, doing the YouTubey things. Oh, fantastic. Um, we're just talking about what constitutes a dark goddess. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Hera, the queen of the gods, could be considered a dark
Mm-hmm.
goddess. And she's the highest goddess in that pantheon, the goddess of childbirth and matrimony. Um,
And
yeah,
Hera is not in this book.
who decides what's a dark goddess actually? I mean, some it's pretty obvious. When you look at
Yeah.
Santa Muerte, in her images, we see skeletons, so people are automatically going to make that leap there. Um, I don't find it scary though. She's a
Mm-mm.
force. Death is a reality.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
dealing
definitely a
with
reality.
Zeus.
Hence, what's going on?
She said, dealing with Zeus's ass, I'd go dark too. Um, my daughter's name is Astra. Oh, pretty. Yeah, Asteria is very similar to that. That's Hecate's mother, um, who is the goddess of stars and divination.
Mm-hmm.
Prophecy. That's what it was. Prophecy.
Yeah.
Um, I want to know. All right, let's talk about how do you know a dark goddess is trying to get your attention?
Um, I feel like you start to see their name everywhere on social media. I feel like you start to really notice that, from one day to another, you never heard of Santa Muerte. All of a sudden, she's coming up on
Everywhere.
everything. Yeah, on everywhere, on everything. And and then and then you start to get visitors in your property. that are
Like
related to like animals, their animal figures, stuff like that are starting to show up.
owls. Ramon has a great story about the
Hmm.
owl in Santa Muerte.
So I
Um,
think it's just that's when they're starting to make themselves known to you. I feel like that's like their way of like knocking on your door saying, "Woohoo, hello." You know?
and yeah,
Yeah.
unless you know that song, Dark Lady laughed and danced and lit the candles one by one.
Mhm.
Y'all did that at home too, so don't tell me you didn't. Um, I love Cher. Crows too. So many crows. That's the Morrigan.
Mhm.
Um, the Morrigan is the battle crow. That is not a weak goddess. That is a warrior. Hekate, warrior
Mhm.
goddess. Um, these are not soft, fluffy, delicate goddesses. They sure as hell can be.
Yeah.
Hecate Sotera is the world soul, the light.
Mhm.
Onira, I think, is the angelic one, or Eniros. I can't remember. Um, oh, you have a white owl in your backyard in Palm Beach.
Wow.
Um,
That's
a
so
white
cool.
a white owl brought change into my world. I've talked about this before. I was out at Halloween in my front yard giving out candies dressed as Dracula, and the tree across from us had a white owl living in it. Well, this owl
Wow.
started flying at me, and I'm like, it's gonna go up, right? It's gonna go up. It's gonna go up. Well, it came right over my head and then flew off, and that's a message. That is an undeniable
Yeah.
message that shit is about to change. And sure as hell it did
Mhm.
in the biggest ways. Um
But yeah, I think it's just when you start noticing their names everywhere. And then all of a sudden you start looking up who this goddess is, and then you start learning about them, and then you start reading and thinking about, are they calling me? And the moment you start saying, are they calling me? You already know they are.
yeah,
There's no
honestly, yeah.
questioning that. Yeah, there's no questioning that.
So gods will breadcrumb your ass. They'll give you just enough to where you could start
Yeah.
looking. Um
Or they
I
make a
ca-
lot like change happen. They make your life go through a huge tower moment.
since we're on this topic, I'll share how I came into Hecate's circle.
Mm-hmm.
Um I in the past was a drug addict. I was homeless. I was a street hoe. Um, one night slash morning, um, I had a vision, and it was so real. When I finally came to myself, I realized what it was. I had a vision of a veil, gauzy, with figures on the other side, and
So cool.
they were speaking, and I heard her say, "I'll take him." Or I'll take him. I can't remember the inflection. I now know that was my lord and lady, Hermes and Hecate. From that point on, my life changed. I mean, literally. That that moment, I was rescued. I was saved. Um, I don't mean it saved like Christianity. I mean
Reborn, you were born again
I was. What
in a different
happened
aspect.
was I thought I heard my friend Jim calling me, and I threw the door to the hotel open saying, "Jim, hold on, wait, I'll be right there." Um, Jim was the bartender at the bar that I worked with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I went to the hotel, I mean, to the bar from the hotel. And I guess I looked, even worse than I normally did because he pulled me outside and said, "What the hell happened to you?" You know, what? You used to manage a clothing store and now, so I said, "Well," and he says,
Yeah.
"You can come home with me, um, stay on the couch, get your shit together." So the feeling I had about Jim was the gods putting him in my path like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I I give myself freely to Hecate and Hermes because they've always been there for me. They've always guided me, protected me, kept me alive, um, showed me how to use my magic
Mhm.
in my own way. That's something I want to say. Everybody has their own relationship with the gods. Um,
Yeah. Everyone's
yes,
going to have their own personal gnosis on who they work with, what their magic does, doesn't do, how they relate to it, how they work it. Don't let anyone ever tell you, oh, it has to be this way.
um, tell him Bobby said kiss his ass. Um,
Yeah.
that bothers me. I'm not going to have the same relation with Hecate that Cindy Brennan has, or Ken Payne, or
Lennon
Sarita de
Smith.
Estes, Lennon Smith. I'm not going to have the same relationship. I'm going to know her in my own way. The way I know the goddess is wild, unchained. I run with Hecate. She is the leader of dogs.
Mhm.
Um, that's how I know her.
Yeah.
I do know her in other ways, but that primarily is how I know her. She's the one who says, "Good boy." Um,
Mm.
Now, there have been goddesses who I'm still getting to know. The Morrigan
Mhm.
is one that I am in the process of still getting to know, and it's been about a year. Um,
And that's
Santa
the
Muerte.
thing. You know,
Uh,
you don't get to know them right away and say, yes, I'm going to start working with you. It's sometimes it can take, hey, Victor, it can take a long time to get to know them, understand them, work with them, and be like, okay, yes, I'm going to go on this path with you.
um, Mama Brigitte's another one that I'm
Hmm.
barely dipping my toe into that because I don't work with that pantheon. That is not
Mm-mm.
my belief system. The only way I'm coming across her is
Because of
base
Bridget or,
because of the um, darkness that Hecate carries me through. The death gods that I work with, the ancestor work, when I'm trying to reach the other side. Basically, if I draw somebody's attention, I kind of ask their permission, their leave. Uh, I love that.
hmm,
The biggest thing for me was a neighbor hands me his snake and says, "If you want it, you scream because I'm so scared of them." But it was just real. Oh, I thought you. Oh, okay. He handed you a snake. Um, Athena is in the house. What's up, Athena? Um, yeah, I get the essence of these gods, but I
hmm,
do not do deep work with them like other people do. Like my friend Angel, he's a priest of Hecate. He is like balls deep in everything. Me,
wow.
I this is my lane. I deliver messages to people. I help them find what they need to find within
Hmm.
themselves. I light fires for other people. Um, and until I get new orders, that's what I'm going to be doing for the gods. Um, you think I'm joking when I say new orders. I'm serious. This is what I feel called to do. Like, this is what they want me to do.
And that's
Uh,
funny is that I think everyone has, like, I mean, like you just said, a different relationship with these goddesses. Um, and sometimes it is not being a full blown priest, like you just said about your friend Angel. But like what you said is giving orders or getting orders and help. I feel like guiding. I feel like you are helping to guide people in your
I'm
own way.
trying in my own
Yeah, I
way.
think you are.
I look at it like this. They're not going to send Oprah Winfrey to talk to certain people. Um, that big of a thing isn't needed. They're
Yeah.
going to send Bobby. Bobby got this covered. Um, I don't know why I chose Oprah. I think it's because she was on the news earlier.
Oh,
I was doing the Epstein Files
of
thing, and
course. Her name's
yeah.
attached to that.
My husband has not liked her for the longest time. He has said
Me either.
flat out,
I've
and
never
I'm
liked
like,
her ever.
I never trusted her, put it that way. But
Mm-mm.
that's just me. I'm cynical. So, um, there, yeah, it's up to the individual on where you want that relationship to go. Hecate, um, if I don't mean to be giving secrets away, but in that vein, oh fuck it, demon, working with demons, working with
Mhm.
diamonds, working with the natural forces, working with quote unquote hell, the underworld. These are totally things
Mhm.
that Hecate could do. Do I consider her a demon or demonic? No.
No.
Fuck no.
Well, you
Um,
mentioned something earlier because you were talking about Maman Brigitte and because of being in a different pantheon. What's your take on that? Say, for example, um, I'm not Slavic, so I can't do Baba Yaga
I'm not
or any of the
Greek.
other Slavic, you know?
Right. Um, I've got an answer for this because it's something that I dealt with in my own brain. And it came about because I repeat the question to make sure I got this right.
So you were mentioning Maman Brigitte and how she's from a different pantheon.
It was runes. I didn't want to take up runes because I'm brown. And runes, more than any other form of divination, are claimed by that part of the world historically. Modern day,
I have
there
runes
are
tattooed on me.
certain white supremacist groups
Hmm.
who think unless you're white, you can't do this. Well, I'm not Greek, but I work with Hecate.
Hmm.
Um, these forces are not limited by borders. They
So
are
what if it's in your DNA,
worldwide.
but it's so far removed? Like, for example, say you have 5% Greek in you, but it's
Hmm.
so far removed that you don't know the language, you don't know physically anybody that lives there from your family. How
My
would you
answer
go
to
about
that,
that?
my answer to that is I believe in the Greek pantheon, therefore the Greek creation myths. Um, we all came from chaos. Everything came from the same source. We are all the same source in different configurations. That is how I view it. So, um, I can be an American working with Greek goddesses. I
Or
can
a
be
Irish?
or Irish. I don't speak Spanish. You've made it a point to drive that home. Just kidding. My Spanish is bad, you guys. Um,
Listen, mine's not perfect either.
much better than mine is. But the point is, I can still work with Santa Muerte because even if I don't speak Spanish, um, what got me for a little while was which gods, if any, have a problem with homosexuality or anything like that. Um, quite frankly, that's an earthly concept, and luckily, the Greeks didn't really give a shit about that. Um,
So Quinna said maybe you were Greek in a past life.
oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I have, or here's the thing that blows my mind. Maybe I'll be Greek in a past life and a future life. Um, where in my next life I'll be born in the past. Um,
So I actually had this conversation with M. Bellinger, who wrote the book Past Life Prompts, talking about she did like the psychic vampire codex. She's huge in the paranormal community and the vampire community. But this past life prompts, we talked about this same topic about she knows someone who, and I'm trying to think of who the goddess was, but it was a like Haitian goddess, but they're as white as can be. What M. Bellinger said is they're not out there selling the wares that are part of that goddess, but they are doing their own private devotions and stuff to her, to that goddess.
um, let's look at it this way.
So it's like
I
selling, like, say, I'm not a Baba Yaga devotee, I'm
There's
not
another one. Yeah.
Slavic, but then what if I'm going out there selling, making stuff and selling them with
Yeah,
her image on it?
I wouldn't do that personally because
No,
I don't have that connection. Then I'm just kind of
correct.
trying to cash in on the gods. Um, we have somebody like that in my town, one of the stores. She's not a
Mm,
practicing witch or
because I feel
have
like if you're buying
leanings in
stuff
that.
from them when they're
Yeah.
not really a practicing anything, you're not really purchasing anything that's spiritual, that's really connected to them.
When Joey makes her items, I've made several with her. Um, there's a point in the process where we stop and we charge it
Hmm.
with our energies.
Yep.
That step is left out for people who are not witches or don't work with energy. And
Yeah.
that's kind
I
of
mean,
a
I do
big
energy
thing,
work on all of my oils.
right? Speaking of, I want to tell you the last time I used that oil worked exactly as I
What
was
oil?
using it. The oil you sent me, the transmutation oil, um, yeah,
Yeah.
worked out
Thank you.
well. Is that available on your Kofi shop, by the way?
It is. It is. And we have Rochelle from Amethyst Ascension here.
What up, homegirl?
Yeah. See,
Um,
she's not devoted to any goddess. And she's
I
talked about
cannot
this
agree.
before.
I love people who do not agree. That
Yeah.
means
Like
you
Miss
know it
Herodi's the
in
same
your
way.
own way.
She's not
Uh,
devoted to a goddess and she just appreciates them, sees them, but she does her own thing.
which part don't you agree on? This is a good talking point. Um, I'm curious about that. So there are people. Hi, Hinda. How you doing? Yeah. The question originally was about different cultures and different
Hmm.
gods.
And the
Um,
cultural appropriation and being
is that
respectful of that culture.
right?
I think it's the respect part.
Deck and book for a goddess that I feel an intimate connection with, but I'm not devoted to her. Well, that's why I have an intimate connection with Santa Muerte, but I'm not
Hmm.
devoted to her. I
Correct. And
do.
she does have like goddess statues and stuff as well. So you can appreciate like she does and not be fully, not like be a complete devotee.
I yeah. Who's the other one? Kali. Kali is another one
Hmm.
that I work with, but am not devoted to. I belong to Hekate, so no matter who I work with, I ask my goddess and my god for permission before I attempt
And then
anything.
Psychopomp of the Void has like literally that's what I feel like that's what her name is because she has all of these amazing goddesses like talking to her, you know?
That's the fun thing about being an oracle. Um, my switchboard connects to a lot of different areas, but
Hmm.
I don't have video call. If that makes sense. Um, I can work with other deities in my oracle work to an extent.
Hmm.
After that, it's beyond me. Um, I do not like when people culturally appropriate something and have no idea what connection it has to that culture. That's why I always felt guilty about starting runes or anything like that. Um, right now, it's still holding me back. It really is. Um, because I have an issue with it, it's going to affect my reading. So until I get that sorted, I'm not really pushing the point too much.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like sometimes we're the ones that put a line there. We're the ones that put that thin line between us and that goddess because of the cultural appropriation and what are people going to think or say. Like I've had people ask me about Santa Muerte. Am I allowed to work with Santa Muerte? And I'm looking at them like, why not?
that's one I get a lot.
Why
How
not?
do I work
She's,
with Hekate?
yeah, she's a, Mexican goddess, but she has bones. You can't see her skin color. She doesn't have any. We all have the same bones structure. She
I
accepts
love that.
everybody. She accepts everybody. Doesn't matter
That's
where you come from, what color you are. She accepts everybody into.
watch as I manifest Lennon. I would love to have her in here. Hecate is so special to me because she embraces those on the fringe of society. So the gay people, the trans people, the mentally unstable, these are the children of Hecate. She embraces us. Um,
So Amber said, I don't agree in cultural appropriation as we're all tapped into the same source. All cultures overlap.
it's true, and I like to look at things like Hermes and Odin and
Mm-hmm.
Thoth, how they conflate and they're the same. Um,
Mm-hmm.
even their physical appearance of
Like each of
Hermes
the
and
pantheons have their very similar gods and goddesses that are the same and almost mimicking into a different culture, a
yeah, they're
different pantheon.
functional. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Look at Greek and Roman is the
Mm-hmm.
most common synchronization there. They do
Yeah.
overlap. It's so obvious
Yeah.
uh, how they have. Don't for a second think that Celina and I are coming out here telling you how to do this and that we're um speaking as
If you feel comfortable
yeah,
in talking to my mom Brigitte, then do it. I don't think anyone should gatekeep you on
great
what
word.
goddess is knocking at your door. You can't say,
Here's
"Oh, I'm sorry, I can't open the door because I'm from a different religion or not religion, a different my skin tone's different than yours."
that held me back from working with Hecate and Hermes for a long time. I knew they were there, but until that point in the hotel, I was like, I'm not Greek. Um, what does he say? I think people associate appropriation with disrespect. Oh, yeah, that's true. If there's no disrespect, there's no appropriation, in my opinion.
Mhm.
It depends on who you ask. You're going to get purists in anything. Um, people who say you have to be Anglo-Saxon, people say you have to be Hispanic to work with Santa Muerte. Um,
And then
no,
Amber has a good point here. There's an old African myth. Four tribes argued over the color God met at the meeting point of the tribes that had 4 different colors, but once the people crossed their tribe lines.
I get what you're saying. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to answer the question of how to work with these gods, how do you work with a new coworker? How do you work with somebody you're in class with? You talk to them, you get to know them, you establish a relationship, you find out what their area is,
Yeah.
what they work with. Hecate is thousands of years old. She's got around 300 names. So, one of the ways that I meditate and worship is to go down the list and read and think about how that connects with my life.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are very in your face, and others are more comforting and come up at other times, like Bupus, cow-eyed. So there's um,
But then there's certain goddesses that come into your life for a specific time in your point. Doesn't mean that they're always going to be there. It means that they've come into your life to awaken something, to spark a flame in you. And then once you are awake, I feel, then they start to be a little bit more quiet. So
yeah,
how do you do with that when you have a goddess that you've been working with and then they've been quiet and you're not actively, again, not actively working, but they're quiet?
your first impulse, at least for me and people I know, is what did I do to piss her off? You know, did I do something? Why is she not talking to me? Why can't I feel her presence? When it's not that that you've upset her or anything, it's that you're a grown ass person and she's
Hmm.
expecting you to live as a grown ass person. You know,
Yeah.
don't go run into mama unless you need her,
Yeah.
type thing. At least that's my viewpoint on it. Um, I was referring to the lack of respect that some have when they use certain symbols as decoration because they think it's pretty. Yeah, I have a problem with that in any form. People who do things without understanding what it means. Um, like when we say the death card, people say, "Oh, it's about change." It's like sometimes it's about death. You know,
Sometimes it's about you being having issues and having stuff that you need to, again, um but yeah, you're right, sometimes it is about death. Because
sometimes it is.
I've read cards and it was literal death. And I'm like, oh.
And you'll hear people say, "Oh, it's not death. It's not death. You can't read death." No, bitch, you can't read death. Um,
I can read death.
this has shown up on more than one occasion for
Hmm.
me, and I've learned to recognize it when it pops up.
Me too.
I
Yeah.
I
It's
hated
scary,
going to
but it's there.
funerals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary for the longest time. And then there's
Hmm.
people, okay, let's talk about this. There's people who think that because you work with darker goddesses and gods, that you must be evil, that you must be going in a direction that's going to
Right.
be
Yeah.
bad for your soul or something like that. And it's not that they're being willfully ignorant. It's just that the deities they're used to working with are on the lighter side.
Hmm.
To each their own. We cannot walk in someone else's shoes. Exactly. So here's the thing. I also work with some very bright and airy goddesses like Bridget, um, the goddess of fire, and she's a creative goddess, but I'm still a dark and twisted soul.
So Bridget is also in the Dark Goddess Oracle. So she definitely has an aspect of her.
I'll have to ask Joey about that. She's very into Bridget, but Joey works with Bridget and Morrigan. The Morrigan, not Morrigan. The Morrigan. You gotta have that. Um, I I don't think Joey works with the destructive aspect of the Morrigan. Um, I think it's bad. Um, BABD. Uh, the aspect. I don't know. Now I'm gonna have to look it up. Hold on. People only know what they've been told or taught, and what they're taught to avoid what we fear. Yeah. Um, I don't know my gods in the same way anybody else does. I, that used to bother me. I used to think I was less than everybody else around me because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know them in the same way as they did, until I realized, well, you don't know her in the way I do. So who's really losing here? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Yeshua is my comfort, actually. Only one God stands the test of all my dark goddesses. I'm a walking paradox.
You are,
Um,
Amber, but I love you.
I went to Christian school, so me and Yeshua were old friends. Yeah,
Yeah. Each
I have no
relationship is different
problem.
with humans, animals, the divine. My relationship to Darla is not the same as my husband's relationship to Darla. We both have a different, same dog, in same household, but we both have different relationships with her.
So I wanted to say this. We touched on how do you know if a dark goddess is calling to you?
Mm-hmm.
It's You're not going to be able to
A
dissemble.
1,000% say
Yeah.
yes. I think it's on you. They start giving you little nudges, but it's on you to really be open to those nudges, pay attention to them, and then start doing your own research.
How do you know if a child is trying to get their mother's attention when they go, mom,
Mom,
mommy,
mom.
mom,
Oh my
mommy,
God,
mom,
my
mom,
kids,
mom?
my boys did that to me all the damn time.
When the gods want to get your attention, they'll find a way to get your attention. And there's going to come a point when you're just going to say, all right, I can't skip around it anymore. This is this.
Yes, Rochelle.
Have you ever been to a
Yes.
funeral and someone gets up and talks about a person and you never knew them like that because they were only with, yes, my
A
dad.
thousand percent. Yeah.
At my dad's funeral, all these people were saying, "Oh, he was this, he was that, he was a good Christian."
And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't see that part.
I'm sure at the end of his life, he may have been like that, but I knew him as the abusive, wife beating, child beating heroin
Mm-hmm.
addict. Um, and glad these people don't know him like that. But I had the privilege of knowing him like you guys do, but I knew him
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're 1,000%, Rochelle. Right.
we each have to cultivate our own relationships. You don't jump into a new friendship and expect everything to go like that.
You need to get
Um,
to know them. You need to, ask questions, talk to them, get to know them. Same thing with the goddess. Talk to
Here's
them.
something
Get
I
to
want to
the
ask.
them.
What happens when you feel a goddess calling you, but you don't want to answer?
They'll keep calling you until you answer.
Yeah. Mommy, mom.
It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
mom aspect, mom, mom. And then they'll send people in your path that are devotees who talk
Messengers.
about her all the time. And
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, okay.
Dreams, TV shows. There's long periods of time where I won't hear the name
Like
Hekate.
I've been avoiding Santa Muerte for years. I mean, I had to have been that I remember probably since I was 11 years old.
Really?
I kept avoiding, 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 avoiding. And then, fast forward 30 some years later, and then she puts Ramon in my path and
Right?
Cressida in my path. And I
That,
had no other I couldn't keep avoiding her.
yeah. Um,
Like she was literally like her presence was like I could physically see her in front of me. It was
She widened my world a little bit because um, I didn't want to do deep ancestor work. I wanted my ancestors basically to yell over the fence and give me what I needed and go away until I called them again. It doesn't work like that.
not wow with me. I want them here all the
Um,
time.
I am now at a point with my family where I feel them and I don't think anything of it. It doesn't scare me
Mm-mm.
like I thought it was going to. Um, what I'm saying is, I just, with something like this help, got over a lot of fear where communicating with people who have passed comes into play. Bobby wanted his neighbors to be, yes, I did. I wanted my ancestors to give me the knowledge on who I was reading for and then skip out. I'll give you a muffin later. Um, ah,
Santa Muerte mainly, but I also had I've been working with my first goddess was Freya, and then Hekate came in the picture. Lilith also came in the picture. I think Lilith actually was before Freya. She's the one that gave me the strength to leave my marriage.
the Morrigan.
Yeah, she gave me the strength to leave and stand up for myself and leave my marriage. Um, and then Aphrodite, and then Santa Muerte.
I love that.
So,
Buffy.
but it's all been goddesses. I don't work with gods.
Don't be jealous. My husband brought me a strawberry banana um, dairy free shake.
Wow.
Homemade, baby. That's right.
Wow.
So, oh, that's good too. I don't think we as humans, unless a god in their mission statement says, I hate humanity and I want it
Hmm.
taken down, I don't see how we can apply light or dark or things like that unless you're a sun god or, Nyx or something like that. Um, I just
That
don't
is, it's a
see
great
it.
husband.
Angels can be protective, loving, caring, like you see in the Hallmark shows, but they can
But
also be
also, how the Bible describes them does not look like the Hallmark shows.
new. Angels are terrifying if you look
Look
at
at
what they actually are described as.
so who is that? Is that Travis McHenry or Fabio Lestrani with their angel deck? Which one of those two is it? Lestrani? He has I feel like he has a really good angel deck, and it's not like
This
rainbows
is
and butterflies type of deck.
oh yes, yes. So Strani has that Notoria and Light.
Yes, that
Yeah,
one.
I gave those away to one of my students, one of my apprentices, and now I have to get them again, both of those decks.
Hmm.
Um,
But I think
but he,
I think McHenry has an Angels Tarot deck, which also is really good. I think they both do. They both like that occult, especially with the Bible.
well, those cards, the angels and
Are intense.
demons on those decks, those are based on the Keys of Solomon.
Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yes.
so that's why those angels are freaking terrifying in that deck.
Hmm.
That is a really good deck. I like it because it gives you the angel script
It
for their
does their
sigil.
sigil.
Yeah, I've really got to get that deck again.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have
um,
it, and it's such a good deck.
I wonder where they get the idea of angels having a bunch of eyes or one eye. Well, they could see everything. When I think angels and all those eyes,
With
what
like the
I
20
see,
wings that are with.
What I see is Magic the Gathering. They have this thing called the Beholder, where it's just all eyes and it's dangerous. That's what I think of. So angels are scarifying.
Mm-hmm.
And demons were at one point.
Angels.
There you go. So it's
So
only a matter of how you're looking at it.
how you view them, yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
the
same way
same.
with these goddesses. You see there's a lighter aspect and then there's a darker aspect.
Oh my gosh, that man loves me. Oh, that is some good stuff. Hold up. Thanks.
Draven said demons just have a C tier PR team. I agree, Draven.
Yes, he just sent me some very powerful advice. Love you, bro. It's awesome. Yeah, he's right. Don't let stupid thoughts like I can't do that because I'm not the right color. That's fuck no.
As long
Odin
as
was
you're respectful, which you should be when you are entering this type of relationship. You have the respect, you want to learn about them, so you start studying, and
demons
then
have bad
and then you
PR.
start making, little devotions here and there.
No, fallen angels. It's in the name. Angels. They just fell. They're still powerhouses, just for the other team now. Demons are pure power and intelligence and consciousness that knows it is conscious but no form. Don't give your form to it. Don't feed the thoughts that come with it. They're master teach. Thought forms are powerful, fucked up
This one?
things. Is that Dave?
Yeah, it's husband.
Hello,
He's not
husband.
bringing me a milkshake like your husband brought you a milkshake.
Maybe one day your husband will love you as much as mine loves me.
We have a huge storm going on right now. Can y'all hear that? No? He just opened up the door.
I don't know why I'm listening to the microphone. Like,
Yeah, we have a huge storm. So Hinda's talking about different angels and different aspects, yeah. So Metatron, Michael, Raphael, Uriel, Gabriel.
Yeah.
But we all
Look at
have
the
different
angel that was
viewpoints.
the
Enoch.
angel of death.
So Enoch is actually Metatron. He's the only angel that I know of that had a human form prior.
I've always liked Raziel, the angel who sits close to the throne, but not on the throne. He's like the Merlin. He knows
Yeah.
all the chisme going on. Baphomet. I know somebody that works with Baphomet.
Who?
Isn't it you?
I don't work with him. He's on my altar. He's on one of my altars. Yeah. My husband, because he's a Freemason.
I like Baphomet from, what was that movie?
What happened?
Nightbreed. What happened? Is he okay? Oh, she muted us. Oh, she only does that usually when she has to pass gas.
Mentiroso.
It's funny though. So, I believe angels and demons,
Extraterrestrial and
Thank you.
Enoch.
Became Metatron because he was abductive and lives among them.
Oh, I love this theory, Rochelle. I know we've had these types of conversations, especially with the extraterrestrial, and you have like the Anunnaki and the Sumerians, and that's a whole different topic and a whole different show. But that's
One of these days, I'm going
We need to
to
get
sit
Rochelle on
down
and we
and
can talk
dig
about
into it.
this.
Really, I
Yeah,
would love to. I know
because I love when she
z-
talks about this.
I know zero about this
Yeah.
topic.
I only
Nada.
know what I know, but that's because from what I've heard from Rochelle and her sister Carla.
Amber, angels is angels. It's true. Um, there are
Yeah.
so many biblical instances of alien abduction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hermes is in the Bible, by the way. True story.
Yeah.
Uh, higher angels of consciousness. Humans equals hue plus man. Oh, I like that. Uh, colors of the mind. Is she gonna break into colors of the wind?
Oh my gosh. Her brain is just, she just completely mind blows me all the time.
I love it. Um, I love that idea, angels as extraterrestrials, because I
Mm-hmm.
look into star seeds. See,
Yeah.
um, I don't know anything about this. This is not something I can speak on even a little bit. The people who wrote the Bible were latecomers to the party, right?
Yeah.
Um, I have
Yeah. So many
issue with the
great different
Bible.
topics, guys. Yeah.
I love the spirituality of the Bible, but I do not like the control. Um, the Bible was designed to
War control.
control, yeah, for control,
The populations
yeah, um,
to
to further
submissiveness, everything.
the
Yeah.
agenda of the rulers at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing has changed in thousands of years. They're still using it to try to control people. My mom told us from the time we were little that God was an alien. This was long before ancient aliens or even talk about the Anunnaki. Um, Ramon and I talked about this one night. Uh, Chariots of the Gods came out when we were kids, and that put forth the idea that God was an alien, angels were
Mm-hmm.
aliens, things like that. The
Well, I mean,
gods.
when he was on the show and he did his Bible chat, he was talking about different types of almost like alien events that were happening in the Bible. Was it magic? Was it alien intervention? Was it,
Was
whoever
it
wrote the Bible? Yeah.
was it Maybelline?
Hmm.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Was it
Um,
Calgon asking to be taken away?
ancient Chinese secret. So if you look at the thumbnail that I put for the show today, when you get a chance later, um, I put Ramon in there. See if you could find him.
You did.
I did. Um, I didn't think anyone would notice, but now that you brought it up, I'm gonna say, your salesman. Jesus, the Bible is a collection of pulp fiction, sex, horror, and splatter. It kind of is. Um, it's scarifying, but hey,
Is that the
if
moon
it
scarab
calls
you
to it,
added on the skull?
yeah, you saw that.
That's
It's
pretty
just a
cool.
itty bitty scarab.
Yeah.
Um,
That's pretty
but
cool. I like
but
that.
that way he could be with us.
Yeah, he's
Um,
still there.
yeah,
That's so cool.
I can't guarantee that these are the only gods that I will work with forever. But
Mhm.
at this point in my development,
Yeah.
these are who calls to me.
Mhm.
And being a working in the oracle capacity for Hermes allows me to pass on messages from other deities um, without having to get into a deep relationship with them. I'm basically passing notes in class. Um, nothing like tripping balls and dying on plant. You start to get crucified and look over at or just chilling beside you, crying blood. That
Girl.
would be an intense.
Yeah. She's hilarious. All of the
Like,
popes end up looking like ET. Timmy.
now I can't unsee it.
I know. Yeah. But no, this is really cool though. I mean,
So, what about people who say that Santa Muerte or Hekate are demons and want human sacrifice, um, or anything like that?
if that's what you think about her, I mean, I know there's stories about stuff like that happening. But then
Well,
again,
there's
look at the
Christians
Aztec
do
gods
that.
and the Mayan gods. I mean, they were sacrificing way back then.
In the Bible, homeboy was going to sacrifice his son without thinking twice about it. So don't give me shit about that.
So sacrifices and that type of, I guess, energy has always been there.
Yeah, that's not my path. I don't do sacrifice, but I will say this about sacrifice. It's a sacrifice, meaning it has to be something you value that you're giving up. Like when you give up something for Lent, you're sacrificing it.
Hmm.
Um, if you're just killing something and
For
saying,
shits
"Oh,
and giggles.
yeah, for shits," it doesn't. It's you're just being a dick. All right.
Hmm.
Um, that bothers me. Many cultures did it like it. Yeah. So, Bobby, you should watch my video about the energetic mechanics of evil. Oh, do you really? All right, I will.
She covers a lot of stuff on her channel. That's
Well,
like,
we gonna have to talk because apparently Celina's always speaking highly about you. I think I should
I love her.
just
Yeah.
bring you on the fucking show and dig into your brain. Um,
You're going to be like left.
what about
You're going to be in the corner, like rocking yourself, saying, Mama.
I get like that sometimes with people who
Yeah.
start talking
Yeah.
Kabbalah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Her stuff is just crazy, amazing, good.
but what makes sense when you're oh, that's what I was talking about. Sacrifice. If you're asking for
Mm.
something and
You
I
too,
say,
Madrina.
Goddess, I really need this. My sacrifice is I'm going to take the trash out. It doesn't really qualify as something that you're sacrificing. You're going to do that shit anyway. Now, if I say I really need this favor, um, I don't know. I'll burn incense. I don't.
She said she's available for 1 hour time slots.
Yeah, I don't give life to the gods. I don't kill anything or anything like that. That's not.
Mm-mm.
In
And Madrina
fact,
put husband to bed, so she's available.
Miss Aida talks about this. She used to do animal sacrifice, and she got out of
Hmm.
that because she just couldn't do it. It wasn't comfortable with her. It didn't sit right in her
Yeah.
shanda, as they say.
No.
So I can't do sacrifice. I really can't. It just the thought of it. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Miss Tarot D just sacrificed Hector for all of us. Oh, we'll have wonderful skin. Um, yeah, I'm not somebody who could speak on deals with the gods or anything like that. Quid
Well,
pro
that's written
quo.
in Cressida's book on the Secrets of Santa Muerte about sacrifices that were made that someone would think, wow, that's a little too much. That's overboard. But that is something that they did with, that's their own sacrifice with Santa Muerte.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean
that's
that if you're her devotee that you also have to sacrifice the same thing.
yeah. Plus, we live in modern times.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just go around nixing people. Um, the good old days. I just moved my rocking chair in front of the curio with my mom's ashes so I can rock myself, just like she did to me in a rocking
Um,
chair as a child. I love that, Victoria. Um, Here's something that I'll share with you guys. Sometimes when I need comfort, I'll lay down in a certain position and run my fingers through my hair because it reminds me of my grandma laying on her lap and running her hand through my hair.
I like that.
It's special to me. Modern culture is different, but true religion in Jesus. I love that you feel that in your spirit. I wish more people felt a connection to the divine in that way. You do that too, Roman? Bitch, you ain't got no hair. Oh, it's moonlight. I thought it was Roman. My bad. Never mind. Uh, so, does anybody have any questions, comments, or suggestions on where this topic is a going? The original idea for this was we were just gonna like pull random cards and
Mm-hmm.
see where the keywords took us. Um, I'm curious if people work with quote unquote darker goddesses. Who are they? Are you guys okay? Is the real question. More than you know, my dear. Um, our goal here on Earth, or at least mine, is to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there are people on the right who think that because we work with gods and goddesses, especially the darker variety, we must be evil. Okay. If that's how you want to think of it, I really don't care what you think. Um, I try to work with dark goddesses to come up with awful cartoon dialogue. What does that mean? Morrigan and Hell. Odin is a dark god. Odin is a dark god. I conflate Odin with Hermes. Uh, and Hermes is the psychopomp and the god of magic. Odin is god of magic. Cartoonist. Really? That is a very cool little emoji there. It looks like a tarot stash in after a couple drinks. What do I think of Jesus? We're old friends. Yeshua and I have known each other since I was 8 years old. He's not my deity of choice, but I'm sure Hekate isn't yours. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I know that you don't believe, or Christians don't believe, that we can ascend in certain ways if we don't believe in Jesus because their book said so. Um, I don't believe that. I believe we all reach divinity in our own way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do.
Um, I appreciate everybody who comes in here, regardless of your faith, your path. Um, there's a lot of love in the Christian community, but there's also a lot of insanity with some
Mm-hmm.
people, a lot of trying to use the Bible as a weapon rather
Mm-hmm.
than as enlightenment. And those are just assholes. I don't care who they um I'm seeing where this is going, your salesman. Um everybody everybody. I believe we are already divine and spend this life rediscovering that about ourselves. Um those that sketch with their left hand are in their right hemisphere. Oh, yeah, I've heard that. If you're left-handed, you're using this part of your brain.
I'm ambidextrous.
Are you really?
As is my son.
You're so lucky that I love you, because I was going to zap you with a really dirty joke right there.
Go ahead, do it.
No, too late. The timing's gone. All is available to all. See, that's the thing. The Christian path wants to keep divinity for those in charge. Our path says we can all be divine, right? We are all divine. What I don't like are people who think that because they have a belief, they are
That theirs is right and that someone else's is wrong. Or theirs is
right.
better. The other person's isn't.
No, I don't like that. But everyone must know the code, kind of like knowing you shouldn't go into other people's channels and try to diss their belief systems. I'm not here to say you're right or you're wrong. I'm here to say this is what we believe. And if you're here to throw around that word salvation, this probably isn't the channel for you. Okay, good. Everybody is their own animal.
Oh,
People are
definitely. Yeah.
using a book that's thousands of years old for today's situations, and it doesn't apply in the same way. We evolved. It's time for the belief system. What blows my mind is, do these people think that God just suddenly stopped talking after a certain point in the book? No. What happened is people just stopped listening and stopped caring. The messages are still being delivered.
Well, also, the Bible was rewritten how many more times?
So many times.
And who wrote the Bible? An imperfect human.
Oh, see, you're dissing lack of faith. Wrong. We have faith. It's just not yours.
Yeah.
No. I feel bad for you that you're so limited. I feel bad that you're blinded, that you're unable to see past the end of your nose. But that's okay, because I don't have to see where you're going. No. No, we know you're not attacking.
Yep. So many awful translations.
I wish they wouldn't have translated it that bad. And then when we find out there were actually more books that the emperor
Didn't make
decided
it
he didn't want to do,
because of what was written in
it
them
sent
that
the wrong message.
contradicted exactly what they were trying to do to the people.
Yeah, I can understand it to a degree. Back then they didn't have what we have now as far as organization, forces, keeping things in line, keeping people in line. There are so many spiritual books throughout history. Why do people hold up the Christian Bible to the edge? Because they were the ones who went to war and spilled blood to make it so. Crusades.
Freemasons. That's why October 13th, Friday the 13th, is a big day.
Why is it so popular? Well, because they literally stamped out and crushed all the other cults. The cult of Hermes was disbanded and stomped out. All the other calligraphy is so beautiful, though it is strange. So somebody was going into a thing about the Talmud the other day, about how not peaceful the Talmud is when you dig into it. I haven't read the whole thing, so I can't speak on that. But homework, what happened to the sun? The sun is up there. Helios. Good night. We're actually going to call it right now, you
Yeah.
guys. We are going to. I wanted to show you this, Celina. This is the only angel deck I have right now, and this just isn't.
Where'd you get that one from?
Oh, I've had this. I bought this a while back. Um, they're cool cards, but they're very
Who made it?
Renaissance. This is Llewellyn. No, U.S.
Really?
Games, U.S. Games, U.S. Games.
Nice.
And the images are very gentle, very Renaissance-y,
Mm-hmm.
Raphaelite type
Ooh, I
images.
like that. That's pretty.
I want my angels to have 100
Gigi
eyes
has that
and
deck.
100 wings. It's a good deck, isn't it?
Yeah, Gigi
It
has it.
shuffles well. It's linen and everything. So, everybody, please take the opportunity, take a moment to go to Facebook on our community forum page. Celina and I have set it up to where we can
Mm-hmm.
carry on discussions there. You guys can give us ideas on what you'd like us to talk about. What does she say? I'm going back to those channels. She's more entertaining than Bobby. Oh, you say that now, but who is asking me for naked
Speaking
pics?
of entertaining,
Just kidding, she didn't.
no. Speaking of though, since we have Miss Hero D in the chat,
Yes. Are we allowed to share what you asked Celina and I to do? We don't want to spill any beans. You know, Mexicans, we don't like to spill beans.
no, we don't. Heck no, we don't. Beans are important. They're sacred. By the way, where's Bridge? He said, sure.
All right.
Have at it.
So Miss Tarot D makes some awesome Florida water. Actually, I have 2 different recipes of hers.
So do I.
Miss Tarot D is going to do it live, and she
Do it live. What?
Let me rephrase that. We are going to do it with Miss Tarot. No, that's not right either.
No.
We are having a Florida water gangbang, basically. No, that's
A
not it.
three-way.
We're doing a 3-way. We're going to make Florida water together from different parts of the country.
It is. It's going to be like really, from New York to Pennsylvania to Arizona.
And we're doing it on a Saturday or Sunday. So maybe we can get Mano to join us. That'd be fun.
Ooh.
We'll float it past him, see what he says. Actually, today, 9 Santeros
Ooh.
by water and have offered to buy.
Congratulations.
I have people here who want to buy. Nate wants to buy your product. People, I'm telling you. And maybe it's just Hermes, where I'm always looking for a way to maximize finance. But, bitch, make some money. All right.
I know, seriously. And I know that Mr. D doesn't want to sell anything and just gives them away, but
Yes. You can go to Miss Tarot D's channel and find the Florida water video and pull everything together
and make
that
it
you're gonna need.
yourself.
Yeah, start pulling your ingredients
Yeah.
together. If you wanna make it
She
with
also
us.
has the salve on there too. The salve, is it the lemon lemon
do.
verbena and lavender salve?
Mm.
She has that on there too. Yeah,
Lavender
definitely check
for when
out.
you need to. Lavender's good for when you need to calm your ass down. My husband buys lavender everything, and I said, "Why?"
I have lavender incense that I use all
And
the
he
time.
told me that. He says, "So you can calm your ass down." And I was like,
Yeah.
how long have you been planning that one joke right there? I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Bloom of the flower rose. Yeah, we're all showing Miss Tarot D's products
Wares.
and she doesn't want to sell. She's right. This is something she does that's special. So you
Hmm.
can never
And
have
that's her
enough
way of
lavender.
like gifting things and making things and, giving, helping her community stay safe and protected. So, but yeah, so we'll be making Florida water together, guys.
Yeah, we are.
Hmm.
I'm excited about it. So what else do we have coming up? What do you have coming up?
Oh my God, I have like several interviews coming up on Monday and Tuesday. Don't you have somebody coming up next week that you're going to interview?
I have first of all on Monday, I've got Paul Hudon. He's one of the first interviews I ever did. He's an author here in my town.
Mm-hmm.
Great dude. He just has this outlook on life that I love. That will be on Sunday or Monday, pardon me. Then on Tuesday, I will be with Marcus.
What time?
That is 10
Because if
a.m.
I'm, oh, okay, good.
Also on Monday, I forgot, Roman Goldmundy X is going to be on my channel.
At what time?
My God, all this stuff.
Well, because I have shows coming up on Monday and Tuesday.
10 a.m. So we got 10 a.m. on both of those.
Mine's 7 p.m. and 6 p.m.
Oh,
Eastern
good. I
Standard
can
Time.
watch. Awesome.
Yeah.
I already asked. My brain
But
doesn't work.
also, Marcus is going to be coming on my channel.
Is it really?
He
You're
told
such
me
a
today he
fighter.
would. I know. And then I have Blake Malloway, who's Crosscrow Books, is coming on mine too.
I I'll talk to you about Crosscrow later. Nothing bad. It's just I didn't follow up on something. I don't think I'm gonna.
They have
I
really
don't.
good books, though.
I don't know. They do. Crosscrow Books has some very good
Occult.
occult, not just metaphysical. This is some
So
occult.
I'm also interviewing Storm Fairy Weather. I just finished reading this book of The Witch's Name. He's going to be on in like 3 weeks, maybe. And this is a Crosscrow Books. I just finished it. This one's really, really good. Because it's
I'm.
talking about like you coming up with a name or being given a name, like a witch's name, and when you use it. And
How many names do you have? How many names do you have? I have
what do you
three.
mean?
I have
Like
three
witchy
names.
names?
My name, my coven name, which I don't use with this coven, and then the name only the gods know me by, that I will never say out loud.
See, I don't have that.
That's
And then
just
like a
because
witch's
that's
name, I don't have a witch's name unless you consider Essence of the Moon to be considered my witchy name.
interesting.
So I'll be talking to
Don't let
him
knowledge be
like the
the
third
end
week of
of the
April.
truth. I have other interviews scheduled, but I'm trying to get these people scheduled. Dawn Michelle, who wrote
I just reviewed that book.
the
I just
Tarot
filmed
of
it.
Evil, and Laura Tempest Zarkov. This is Tarot by Tempest. This one I'm very much looking forward to digging into. Joey saw it and shit on herself. She got so excited, so I can't wait to dig into it. And then I'll be unboxing these. I've got
Hmm.
Witch Whisper Oracle, a
Which is
Witch's
really
Ally
cute.
Oracle. Uh, what else? That's pretty much it. I'll see you guys on Wednesday with Joey for 420 Tarot, and then Celina and I will be back on Thursday. Celina's witch name is badass.
Thank you, Madrina.
I'll agree with that. Testosterone and estrogen. Two of my favorite cocktails. Yeah. Oh, I remember what it was. We do have Behind the Moon t-shirts available.
I
Really
almost
nice
wore mine
shop.
today and I didn't. I should have.
I still have to order mine. Yeah, don't bring that up. Yeah, we do have Behind the Moon merchandise. I've got 420 merchandise and other shit. So check that out. Celina, I love you. Oh yeah. I need that.
Yeah.
And your husband has requested a black robed one. So yeah.
Yep.
If you're all free, I'll do a real live with Denise this Saturday at 3. Pop on in. Ooh. All right, everybody. Miss Jody is gonna be on Saturday. I love it. All right.
Yeah.
You guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. If you're not subscribed to Celina's channel, please subscribe. We love you. And if you have any questions or comments, either put it in the comment section here or on our Behind the Moon Facebook group. All right.
Sounds
And
good.
we'll see you later. Bye.